This is the Irish Warlock, and welcome to the first part of the Star Trek Resurgence Let's Play. If you have watched my Alone in the Dark prologue Let's Play, welcome back. If not, and this is your first time, welcome to the channel. This is one of the first videos I'm going to be putting up. It will be coming up after the Alone in the Dark prologue, as I mentioned. And it should be going up, as long as everything is on schedule, Monday the 29th. And you should probably get a second or third part later in the week, along with some Warhammer Bolt Gun as my first couple of videos to the channel. If you like what you see, do leave a like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on any future videos. So, we're about to get started. Just going to check the settings and everything. Subtitles is on. Great, that's pretty much all I needed to check. Yeah, I've been really looking forward to this game since it was announced last year. I'm a really big Star Trek fan. I have been for not that long now, only about a couple of years really. But I've basically seen everything. I love it all, from old Trek to new Trek. I will admit I haven't seen the last two seasons of Picard or Strange New Worlds. That's not because I'm put off by them or anything. I liked the first season of Picard. I really liked Discovery and Pike and that. It's just I've gotten so busy the last few years with stuff. Just some entertainment has kind of fallen to the wayside. I do plan on doing a catch-up though, especially after seeing the most recent Star Trek Stranger Worlds trailer with the Lower Decks crew in it. I really want to make sure that I'm up to date on all my Trek before I get into this, before that comes out, I mean. So yeah, I've been really looking forward to this game. I've heard some mixed things from people, you know, that story and characters are really great, but combat and is not the best. But you know what, for me, story and characters is always what comes first, not gameplay. So like, as long as it's not game-breakingly bad, then I'm fine with it. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so what we can see is this is going to be a lot like a Telltale game, which makes sense because a lot of people who worked at Telltale now work for Dramatic Labs. So yeah, probably a lot of choices, alternate endings, replayability then, so which is really good, which is the kind of games I like.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Oh, I wonder what this is. Oh, good catch, good catch.
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst.
And yet you joined Starfleet. It's a bit cruel. Don't close your eyes.
Here's a tip. Don't close your eyes. You'd think that would make it easier, but it only makes it worse. Look out the window, pick a star, and just focus on that.
I'll give it a try.
As someone who's not a fan of flying, yeah, I kind of actually agree with that.
Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
That's an Excelsior there on the right, or on the left I should say, sorry. I like the Excelsior. They're a cool class. Not as cool as the Sovereign, which is my favourite, which is the Enterprise E. Okay, so checking at security. Let's go. Very cool.
A starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
Just want to say at the start that this uniform, oh, just turning with me. This uniform, kind of the Deep Space Nine first contact uniform, is my favorite uniform in Star Trek. Like, I like a lot of them. The TNG and Lower Decks ones are quite nice, and I really like the Discovery one as well, the kind of formality of it, but I really just love this uniform. Right, let's go. Ooh.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy. So, there's that.
Let's go with impressive. Be nice to this guy.
That's quite impressive.
Thank you. It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds.
Jara Rydek.
Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground, so to speak.
Pleasure is mine.
The pleasure is mine, Ensign.
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermont is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
So yeah, I'm going to play this kind of as if she's going to build up the crew, kind of like, be supportive and everything. Let's check the menu while I'm at it. So, okay, controls, instructions. Yeah, don't have to worry too much about this. Settings is fine, but the crew. So obviously we can see Jara and Carter are our two playable characters, and it seems to be just the relation they have with the different crew members. So Jara with Ensign Calloway. Ensign Calloway was grateful for Jara's helpful guidance when he was nervous on the shuttle flight. So yeah, I kind of want to keep that kind of be that kind of first officer essentially. At least in this playthrough anyway. Let's head on.
Good day, Commander.
Hello. So we can see from that scan with her hand as well, she's part human, part... I couldn't make out what the other species is, but I'm assuming we'll find out sooner or later. And here we are. Okay, so...
If I remember my briefing, Commander Ermont is a bully.
Yes, we're to find
So I'm
Commander
looking for someone
Ermont.
with blue skin.
There's a boat, and I can see a bowling in the back there, so let's head over.
You're going to the Resolute too?
Yeah, not the ship I was hoping for.
Why's that?
Oh, you haven't heard? Some kind of accident. Their warp core overloaded.
Oh, whoa. That's a big deal.
They spent 6 months fixing it up.
Is it the captain's fault?
That's the rumor, yeah.
Okay, so we'll see how that goes.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Look here. The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Ah, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me. Thanks so much, Commander.
Let's talk to her.
Excuse me. Have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
Wait, it has 4 docks, and that guy couldn't find his ship out of 4 docks. Our ship. And it's... yeah, got a lot of confidence in this crew.
I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board.
Excuse me. Oh. Okay, Commander Ermont.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermont, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander?
Voice sounds familiar.
I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was a bit bumpy, but otherwise okay.
My apologies. This storm is unlike anything I've seen before. We're grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all.
You have
To
high
our
expectations.
research vessel.
Spare the flattery. What have you heard?
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy. Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War.
Ooh.
Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the USS Endeavor.
You've done your homework.
Like I said, we're very lucky. The USS Resolute. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
The equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew.
Ooh, dang.
At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other.
Uh,
That's what it means to be a crew.
sorry for your loss.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
Yeah, let's check on him personally.
Did you lose anyone close to you?
Too many. And to that I'll just say, you have big shoes to fill. Listen, I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time, and I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
I mean, I'm always someone who thinks you should always try and promote within when possible, so I can see where they're coming from, but yeah, thanks for the heads up.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
I appreciate it.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention.
The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Okay, so now we're Carter. Nice.
Stuck. I got just the thing.
Find the plasma torch. Guessing it's this one. Yeah, plasma torch. Or the other stuff, let's see. ODN coupler. Hyperspanner. Interphasic coil spanner. Like, I love that I just recognize all these names from like Trek, that I just vaguely heard of all this stuff just in like techno babble put out by characters. No self-sealing stem bolts though. That is a shame. Clear the corrosion. Okay. Oh yeah, pretty straightforward. And done.
Is that.
I thought the thing was totally fried. Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Neely.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
Alright. We are now Carter, who is... Oh, what's... He's lower than ensign, enlisted personnel, yeah, so he's technically at the bottom of the pecking order, essentially, but still, Starfleet. I think, how could you not want to be in Starfleet? Can't move that. Oh, okay, so we can see... So Jara made a good first impression with Commander Ermot, coming off as inquisitive and appreciative while showing empathy for what the crew of the Resolute suffered. And then for Ensign Callow, was grateful for Jara's helpful guidance when he was nervous on the shuttle flights. And Carter has not activated anyone just yet.
Junction 34B gives you access to the tubes behind cargo storage all the way to the turbo lift.
Not after the retrofit. Bulkhead cuts it off in Section 2. New computer reroutes.
So then...
I'm thinking we'll have to do the work in that tube.
Come
then
on!
take the turbo lift from Section 2 to Section 3.
Well, wait, there's a subfloor crossover around Junction 32E.
What do you have against using the turbo lift?
Nothing, I just like being in the tubes. It's my domain.
Hey,
Carter
need any help?
Diaz!
Okay, good luck. Engineering.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
What's the matter, Nilly? Afraid of a little hard work?
A little hard work? Really? A little? 6 months of putting this ship back together is a lot of hard work.
Yeah, and here we are. Just about ready to go.
I like this. I like his optimism. I like that he's an optimistic kind of guy.
Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Ed
He's a
Solar,
Vulcan. Petty officers, that's what they're called.
Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edsolar on repeated occasions.
Apologies for the delay, Commander.
I do not want your apologies. Simply see to it that it does not happen again.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
Let's be confident. We'll be ready.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
I am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. Flattery is not necessary. All that I require is that you do your job.
Oh, I should have seen that coming.
Right now, that entails critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes,
Roger
Commander
that.
Chovak. All hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out, and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule.
You worry too much.
Consequences be damned.
You gotta have some faith, Nilly. Starfleet Command wouldn't send us out if we weren't ready.
6 months ago, I probably would have said the same thing. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Oh, whoa. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's your man.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
Give them a chance.
They seem all right. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? Well, that's nothing to hold against them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt. Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Wouldn't take long to reverse that transfer and get you right back on the Adirondack.
I didn't know you had that kind of authority.
Oh, Carter's going places. You'd be surprised what he can do.
Still, I am glad to be here. He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go. See you on the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
Okay, so this game seems to be a lot of just, like all Telltale games back in the day, just quick time-esque events. So we'll see if that kind of changes or mixes it up as the game progresses. But as I said, gameplay's not important, especially for this kind of game. It's mainly, this is all like story, character-driven stuff, which I'm enjoying so far. We're going back to our first officer now.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily. You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen. And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Okay, so that's going to be a fun game mechanic.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
So we'll have to be checking that. Will that be a story-based thing when I update that, or will it have to be general gameplay, or... Oh, well, we'll see. Reminds me of... What was the Far Cry game? Was it Far Cry 2 or Far Cry 3 where you had to take malaria pills on a regular basis? Or was it going to be something like that? Let's open this. Oh, no, I keep touching the touchpad to open this, but it's not. Carter. Yes, so Carter has Petty Officer Morass. Miranda appreciated Carter's playful attitude when she first arrived aboard the Resolute, and how it might spark mutual attraction between them. Yeah, I definitely got that between the two. And Lieutenant Commander Chovak. I'm going to have to try not to say Tuvok when I'm reading his. Lieutenant Commander Chovak and Carter be respectful and responsible when he and Edselar, I hope I pronounced that right, were almost like in main engineering. So cool. He likes me. Or, no, he tolerates me. He likes me as much as a Vulcan can. Model train. Every captain has some weird model they're fascinated with.
He's still got a thing for trains. The warp engines of their day, apparently.
Jara Rydek. Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. The only regret is we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare. But, unfortunately, we've had our hands full with the refit.
Let's just get to work.
You can spare me the pomp and circumstance. There's plenty of work to be done without all that.
You always had a work ethic like nothing I'd ever seen. That's just what this ship needs at the moment. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
You mean the accident? It was a malfunction. I don't know the details. I'm gonna go I don't know the details just so I can get as much info as possible.
You'll have to forgive me. I don't really know the details.
Starfleet has been kind enough to keep the story contained. Probably because they want to protect me. But I don't mind telling you. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career. Right there. Within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship could handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
You aren't to blame. The crew nurses, you aren't to blame.
You're being too hard on yourself. It wasn't your fault.
It's not a question of blame. It's about responsibility. No matter what the circumstances. In my defense, I will say I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO. And I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission.
Oh, is this going to be like a Riker Pegasus situation?
And that's when things start to go
Oh
sideways.
no. What happens if they don't? You can only meet the final issues. What if they don't?
And what happens if they don't?
There's a chain of command for a reason. We all have our orders.
That's true. Everyone on this ship should know that.
Sometimes the occasional reminder doesn't hurt. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. Two previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
Tau.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hotari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where
Coincidence.
I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater.
That's a powerful storm.
The diplomat will brief us on the details.
Prepared and well, I know the diplomat is, so is the crew prepared?
Are we prepared to embark on the mission?
As much as I'd like to think that's true, I have my doubts. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
I still have a lot to learn.
Thank you, but I feel like I still have so much to learn.
You'll have plenty of opportunity. And if you're willing to put in the work, I'll do everything in my power to help you along the way. Come, let me introduce you to the crew.
So what are the odds he's bad, or he's going to die and we have to take command of the ship? I was kind of thinking that second one leading up to it, up to the game, but we'll see.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer. Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Bajoran, okay.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our Chief Science Officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time, and I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
The honor is mine. Built her up as well.
If anything, the honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad, because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves, and you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it.
Bit weird to start out that way.
Admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done, but you definitely set a standard to strive for.
Let's go with enough about me. Let me hear about you.
That's very kind of you to say, but enough about me. We have a lot of work to do.
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh no, I thought it was going to be more like, tell me about yourself.
And then, of course,
Damn.
you've already met Commander Ermont. Please, do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. I have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, the bridge is yours.
Okay, bit of a audio glitch there. I do think there's a patch coming out soon that I should hopefully update some of that stuff. So yeah, can we talk to anyone? Operations.
Staffing, supplies. There's a lot to keep track of on a starship. Good thing we have Commander Ermont.
Okay, so she's saying that. Okay, communications.
Communications. Keeps us in contact internally and with other vessels. Turbolift could take me anywhere on the ship, but I'm right where I need to be.
Well, this is handy, little, like, just let anyone who's maybe not familiar with the franchise know where everything is. The helm.
The helm. The Resolute is a refitted Centaur class, meaning it's capable of quick maneuvers. Can't wait to see what she can do.
Okay, nothing there. Science
station. The Resolute is a science vessel, primarily. Might explain Commander Westbrook's attitude. I'll have to speak with him later.
Damn right, you get in line. Oh, I wonder, he was probably up for first officer. Tough luck. Yeah, nothing there. Oh, anything here? Tactical.
Tactical station. Hopefully a diplomatic mission won't require we use our weapons much. But if it comes to that...
Oh, hell no.
We'll be ready.
Let's go phasers, photon torpedoes already. Ooh, tactical hollow.
Tactical hollow Diaz. Just like they've got on the Excelsior.
Nice.
The first officer seat. My seat. Right now, though, I need to fill in for Captain Solano.
Nice. Let's just reopen this. Captain Solano was reassured at by Jara's modesty and leadership potential after their first meeting. Kiel. Let's sit down.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
Make it so.
Permission granted.
Ah.
Lowering structural integrity field, now.
Entering maintenance mode. Condition blue.
Yeah, that's probably a little bit worrying.
The storm is getting worse.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
Okay, and that is the end of part 1. A slow start, but honestly, I kind of like what we've seen so far. There's a lot of little details that kind of get brought up in the forum backgrounds that you can show that these people who made this know Star Trek and that they are fans of Star Trek. They're trying to make a Star Trek game, not just a game that takes place in the Star Trek world, which I'm very happy to see. We'll have to see where the game progresses as things go, but so far, my guess is Captain is either going to die or betray us. Probably be our BFF. Probably another BFF. And then potential romance and mentor figure, maybe? We'll see how that goes. I wonder who all these other people will be. We know Spock and Riker appear in this, so maybe Spock and Riker appear in there somewhere too. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this start to my first full series Let's Play of Star Trek Resurgence. What do you think of the game? Let me know in the comments below, and check in soon for the next update with part 2. Until then, see you all next time.